there is something happening inside your head right now that separates you from a significant portion of the population. If you are someone who constantly has music playing in your mind, a background soundtrack that loops, shifts, and sometimes gets stuck, you are not just experiencing a quirky habit. You are revealing something profound about how your brain is wired. Let us start with something most people completely misunderstand. When we think about people who have songs playing in their heads, we assume it is just random noise, background static, maybe even a sign of distraction or an overactive mind that cannot settle down. But neuroscientists have discovered something far more interesting. These internal playlists are not accidents. They are windows into a specific type of cognitive architecture that is actually quite rare. Think about the last time a song got stuck in your head. Maybe it was this morning. Maybe it is happening right now. You are going about your day, making coffee, answering emails, driving to work, and underneath it all, there is a melody running like a river beneath the surface. You did not choose to play it. You did not consciously decide to cue up that particular track. It just appeared. And here is what is fascinating. Your brain selected that song for a reason you probably do not even recognize. Researchers call this phenomenon involuntary musical imagery, but that clinical term does not capture what is actually happening. Your subconscious mind is communicating with you through music. That song playing on repeat is not random. It is tied to an emotion you are processing, a memory you are revisiting, or a mood your brain is trying to regulate without your conscious awareness. When you are anxious, your mind might loop something upbeat to counterbalance the stress. When you are processing grief or loneliness, a melancholic melody might surface. Your internal DJ knows things about your emotional state before you do. Now imagine you are sitting in a meeting. Everyone is discussing quarterly projections, and you are nodding along, taking notes, asking smart questions. But underneath it all, somewhere in the background of your consciousness, a song is playing. Maybe it is something from your teenage years. Maybe it is a song you heard in a coffee shop 2 weeks ago. Either way, you are doing something most people cannot do. You are running parallel processing. Your brain is handling the external world while simultaneously maintaining an internal experience. This is not distraction. This is cognitive complexity. What psychologists have discovered is that people who regularly experience internal music have heightened activity in the auditory cortex, even when no external sound is present. Essentially, their brains are more active, more engaged, more alive even in silence. While others experience quiet as emptiness, these individuals experience it as space that their minds instinctively fill with melody, rhythm, and emotional texture. But let's talk about what this actually means for how you move through the world. You are walking through a grocery store. Fluorescent lights overhead, the beep of scanners, the murmur of other shoppers. And playing underneath all of that ambient noise is a song only you can hear. This is not escapism. This is something researchers call self-generated emotional regulation. While other people might feel overwhelmed by the mundane harshness of everyday environments, you are unconsciously creating your own atmosphere. You are scoring your own life. You are never truly at the mercy of your surroundings because you carry an internal world that travels with you. Here is what is interesting. Studies show that people with active internal soundtracks score significantly higher on measures of creativity. And this makes sense when you think about it. Creativity is not just about producing art. It is about making unexpected connections, seeing patterns others miss, and maintaining rich internal worlds that can be drawn upon when needed. When your brain is constantly generating music without external input, it is practicing the fundamental skill that underlies all creative thinking, the ability to produce something from nothing. Fast forward to a random Tuesday afternoon. You are stressed, deadline looming, pressure mounting, and somewhere in the back of your mind, a song starts playing. Not one you chose, just one that appeared. And here is what happens next. Your heart rate slows just slightly. Your breathing deepens without you noticing. That tightness in your chest loosens by a fraction. This is not imagination. Your brain is using music as a physiological intervention. It is leveraging the deep connection between melody and the nervous system to literally calm you down. People who play songs in their head have developed something powerful without even trying, a built-in coping mechanism that requires no external resources, no app, no subscription, no headphones, just the brain doing what it learned to do, probably since childhood. You carry with you a pharmacy of emotional medicine, and you dispense it unconsciously whenever your system needs recalibration. Now, think about those moments when you are alone. Maybe you are cooking dinner. Maybe you are on a long drive. Maybe you are lying in bed before sleep takes you. These are the moments when the internal music gets louder, more present, more vivid. This is not loneliness manifesting as noise. This is your brain demonstrating its capacity for self-companionship. People who live with constant internal soundtracks are never truly alone in the way others might experience solitude. They have developed what psychologists call robust internal resources, the ability to generate comfort, stimulation, and emotional richness entirely from within. What researchers now recognize is that this capacity is strongly linked to emotional intelligence. These are people who understand mood not as something that happens to them, but as something they can influence. They have learned, often without realizing it, that internal experience is malleable, that you do not have to accept the emotional weather of a given moment, that you carry within you the tools to shift your own state. But there is something else happening here that goes beyond coping and creativity. People who play songs in their head often report stronger autobiographical memory. And this makes sense when you understand how memory works. Memories are not stored like files in a folder. They are reconstructed each time we recall them, pieced together from fragments that include sensory information, emotional states, and contextual details. Music acts as an incredibly powerful retrieval cue. When a song plays in your mind, it can unlock entire chapters of your life. Not just the events, but the feelings, the atmosphere, the texture of who you were in that moment. You are essentially carrying a personalized time machine in your consciousness. That song from high school does not just remind you of high school. It temporarily reconstructs the emotional reality of being that person. This is why music can bring people to tears without warning. It is not just triggering memory, it is triggering identity. Here is what neuroscientists find remarkable. When people imagine music, the brain responds almost identically to when they are actually hearing it. The same regions light up, the same neural pathways fire. For your nervous system, the difference between imagined music and real music is almost negligible. This means that people who constantly play songs in their head are getting many of the psychological benefits of listening to music, including mood regulation, stress reduction, and emotional processing without any external technology. And this brings us to something that might surprise you. In an age of constant external stimulation, podcasts, playlists, notifications, and feeds, the ability to generate internal experience is becoming increasingly rare. People are losing the capacity to sit with their own minds because they have outsourced the job of filling silence to devices. But those who still play songs in their head have retained something valuable. They can be alone without being empty. They can experience quiet without discomfort. They have maintained access to internal resources that others have slowly, imperceptibly allowed to atrophy. The psychology of people who play songs in their head is not about a quirky tendency or a restless mind. It is about a specific type of brain that creates, processes, and regulates differently than most. These are people whose minds never truly go quiet, not because they are anxious or distracted, but because they are alive in a particular way. They carry within them an internal world rich enough to generate its own soundtrack. And in a world that is constantly trying to fill every moment with external input, that capacity for self-generated experience might be one of the most valuable cognitive traits a person can have. You are not just hearing songs that are not there. You are demonstrating a mind that creates its own reality, one melody at a time.